Hey everybody, welcome back. Tamara Tamu here, bringing you another episode of Unleashed Alchemy. So check this out. I really wanted to do something really different. I've done this before. I've done a tarot card reading before, and one of the reasons why I wanted to do this in the middle of our conversations that we've been having about money is number one, I want us to be reminded that, and I'm reminding myself, but I'm also reminding you too, that spirituality can be fun. Whether you are dressing a candle for a ritual, whether you are writing an incantation, if you're writing a spell, it does not have to be so serious. It doesn't have to be uptight. We can have fun with it. Our magic, as it is expressed through us, is supposed to flow. It's supposed to be with ease. There shouldn't be any type of resistance or restriction. So it took me a few days to do this tarot reading with you because everything that I just said, my ego was bumping up against all of that. Okay? And so I had to really ask myself, why am I resisting doing this tarot card reading? Why? And it was for that very reason. I let the ego say, well, no one's going to take that seriously. You've been talking about money, and then you've been talking about something so serious as money, and then you pull out tarot cards to tell people or to use it as a tool to where we can access the possible energies that are infiltrating our money stories. Why are you doing that? And so here I am, free from that, and I am bringing you this tarot card reading that is going to give us insight around our energy, around money, and our money stories. Now, we already know, if you have, I've done a tarot reading, I think one time before on this channel. And the first thing that I always say with tarot cards is that we don't need a little card to tell us anything, because we are the channel. We don't need this. We don't need a candle. We don't need herbs. We don't need oils. We don't need crystals. We don't need any of that, but those are very helpful and effective tools that spirit, that the great creator, however you view that our elevated team, that our elevated ancestors, that our elevated guides, that our elevated angels will come through and speak to us and give us guidance and messages. Same thing with the cards. Because at the end of the day, we are the channel. We're the channel. So I'm going to do a 3-card pull. These 3 cards are going to give us insight into how we are currently viewing our money. It's going to give us insight in our connection with currency, our wealth, or our worth around money, and how much we can have and the ways in which we can have it. So I'm shuffling, and we know that our connection with Source is immediate. We already know that our communication with Source is ongoing. We just have to be available to hear the messages. We have to be open to receive them in the ways in which we need them, at the right time, in the right way, in the most loving way. And we also are going to be thankful and grateful for the messages that we're going to receive in this moment. There is always protection around the message that we are going to receive, because the messages come through in love. When they are elevated messages, they are going to come through with love. They're going to be clear. And we are going to use our discernment. We're going to allow our intuition to take its rightful place with no overanalyzation. We're going to take the messages as they are and apply it effectively, not just to our money, but in every single part of our lives. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right. So, and well, one just fell out. And another. And here we go. And one more. We are not going to reject any message that we receive because we know it is for us in this moment at the right time. All right. We are not going to be afraid of any message that comes to us either. So, this is what we have. The Knight of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords. So what are these three cards telling us about our energy around money and how we view money? So with the Knight of Wands, here's what I'm getting with the Knight of Wands. Even though we feel that we can call money on demand, there is still something that is within us that is still saying it's almost like there's a little barrier that we still need to get over. It's almost like this little hump that is in the way, kind of like a boulder. It's not a big boulder, but it's a small boulder that's in the way. That if we can just stand firm in our power to call money on demand, if we can just step into that identity, we don't need to worry about that boulder. We don't need to worry about how that's going to feel with us riding over the boulder or climbing over the boulder. The universe is going to take care of that boulder for us. So we don't even have to worry about that. If we can just stand firm in who we are, stand firm in using the power of our words to call forth our own economy, because we are our own economy. If we can look beyond for some of us, that boulder is programming that we have released. However, we're still in community and we're around people, whether it's our family and friends, that have not yet elevated their consciousness as far as money is concerned, whether it's self-worth around money, whether it's ways to get money. That program view that says only a job can give you money. Trading time for money is the only route to go. So for some of you, that is the boulder. But if you can hold your wand being your I am power, your wand being what comes out of this tool, this body right here, this creative force right here, if you can just stand firm in that and hold on to that, that boulder will go. That boulder will not be an issue. Then you can be able to stand with your wand and speak with confidence your new money story as you see it on earth as it is in heaven. Where is heaven? Heaven is not somewhere out there. Heaven is in your mind. Heaven is in your heart. Heaven is what your higher consciousness, that higher self, the capital SELF, that only knows abundance and prosperity, if you can view your life through that lens, if you can speak as your higher mind gives you the words to speak, that boulder will go away. The how is not your issue, whether the boulder will disappear, or people around you won't even talk to you about certain things because they know that they can't come to you with their own program view anymore, because your conversation is not going to be the same. It's going to disrupt their programming issue, so they won't even bring it to you anymore. Or it could disappear in a way that those people will come to you and say, well, how did you get to this space where you can think so differently and be confident in your power? How can you stand? How can you talk in a way that makes you sound like a magician? All right. So that is what I'm getting with the Knight of Wands as far as it relates to money energetics. This is a collective thing. Okay. So take what resonates, leave the rest. All right. So Queen of Swords takes us back to our confidence level. Here's the deal. Your confidence has nothing to do with your feelings. What do I mean by that? Because you can be confident and yet feel nervous. It's a feeling. Your confidence is an identity. Your feelings are not your identity. This also takes us back to what we say. If you are feeling nervous about money, don't say I am and then put in nervous there. Say, okay, I recognize the feeling of nervousness, but I am confident in my I am power to call forth the overflow of money for everything I need and desire in perfect peace, in love, in integrity, in flow. So your feelings are not your identity. They do not cancel out your identity as an abundant being, as a magician, as the one who carries the wand, as the one who carries the wand that says, my life on earth as it is in heaven. Period. That's what I'm getting with the Queen of Swords. Okay. Also, I thought I was done with this card. Also, as far as, so your confidence will affect your communication positively and how you speak. How you speak is going to start cutting into other people's programming. And I'm not talking about judging other people's level of consciousness, but your confidence is going to be so much so in your I am power that people are going to just look at you and they are going to have some sort of conviction to raise their consciousness level, whether they ask you or not. And we just touched on this, whether they ask you or not. Your presence, because now that I am power is exuding through you, whether you speak or not, but we know part of that is us speaking in a different way because we have adopted a new identity. it's going to clip away, literally cut away through other people's programming. We have no idea how powerful that is. It's time for us to step into that identity. Yes, we're talking about money, but this goes far beyond money. We already know that. So that's for the Queen of Swords, all right? The Page of Pentacles. When you have made spirituality the backbone that you do, that the backbone of your life and everything that you do, it doesn't mean all of these sacrifices that you have to make. That is a programmed view, and it comes from religious programming. Page of Pentacles, so Page of Pentacles, as we see here, this is someone who is, what I'm feeling is free, is generous to themselves. When you can be generous to yourself, you can be generous to other people. This is someone who has given to themselves and they can give to other people. This is not someone who has sacrificed in pain. But when you make spirituality the backbone of everything that you do, that doesn't mean that you have to give up your desires and what you want. In this case, it does not mean that you have to give up a desire to experience $1 million days. That's just an example. It doesn't mean that you have to, being a spiritualist, having that deep connection with your higher mind, your higher self, doesn't mean that you have to not want an overflow of money, that you have to not want to be rich. Saying you don't want to be rich is not noble. Having money, being rich with integrity, with love, that is a spiritual experience. When you allow yourself to honor your desires, thank you. When you allow yourself to honor your desires, you can give freely to other people. When you allow yourself to honor your desires, there's no resistance in that. That is spiritual. You don't just, we don't realize we come here, our soul carries these desires for a reason. But we're programmed to think that if we want more money, somehow that means that, we have to sacrifice. We have to sacrifice being happy to have money, or we have to sacrifice joy for being happy, or we have to sacrifice, being close with our family to be wealthy. All of those program views. It is time to really get rid of all the residue. Yes, you have been working on programming and getting rid of it and shedding it and allowing spirit to do the work with your reprogramming, reprogramming. But now it's just time to say, okay, you know what? I'm stepping into this identity as a wealthy person, as a wealthy woman, as a wealthy man. I'm stepping into this identity of someone who has been generous with themselves because you have honored your own desire. So now, because you've honored what you want, because you've honored your desire, you have now created the pathway for money to flow in easily because there's no resistance. So now that you've honored that, you have the overflow, and you can share it with love as spirit guides you to do so, and you can share it easily with no warped obligation. And that is what the Page of Pentacles, that's what I'm getting from the Page of Pentacles. That's the message that I'm receiving. So that is the reading. I invite you to listen to it again. I'm going to listen to this again because I feel that there were a lot of nuggets in that. I also want to invite you to check out my newest book that I have written on Amazon. It is a handback. It's a paperback book that is now available on Amazon. It's called Tales of a Money Maven: How Religious and Other Programming Has Effed Up Your Money. That book, I designed it to be a story that's infused with a workbook. In the back, at the end of the book, there are journal pages. At the top of each page are questions that are designed for you to not to judge your money experience, not to judge how you have felt about money and your worth and your relationship to it, but it's to observe, to elevate, and to alchemize so that you can start to experience a money transformation. As you revolutionize your life in the spirit realm, you can revolutionize your life at the same time on the money level. The two go hand in hand. So I invite you to check out the book. It is available now on Amazon. Also, there are several ways that you can work with me as I provide support to you on your spiritual odyssey. There's my 90-day coaching package. There are the 60-minute sessions, one-off sessions that you can schedule with me. Also, the Unleashed Alchemy Magic School is open for monthly enrollment. There are channeled workshops, over 20 hours of channeled workshops right now available in the Magic School. There's also the community. We go live in that community one time a month for now. And so those are ways that I support you, that I can support you on your spiritual odyssey. Because sure, you can do it alone, but why do it when you don't have to? All right. So thank you for listening. Let me know what parts of the reading resonated with you. And yeah, that's it for this episode. So until next time, cheers.